Hi, this is Mike Worth, and in this tutorial we are going to import the eSchema work. We're going to add a file, a folder and a label. So the first thing we do is go to our page, click on that one, and we just scroll down to import. There we go, import. And in here I'm going to type template. Just see if we actually can find it. So there it gives us our range of templates. We choose this one here that just says eSchema E-sow template. We just click on it there and go continue. And I'm just going to take off the main of these items because we don't really need them. We just need the include activities and resources. I'm going to go next. And this shows us how many there actually are. And there are around about 30 of them. We don't need all those. Well, you might depend on the size of your page. I'm just going to take off the ones we don't need. But bearing in mind, whether you're importing the eSchema work or any other page to your new page, then the items that you import will always go into the same section that they came from. So if they came from page 20, from section 20, they will go into section 20 on the new page. So I'm just taking these off. I'm going to go 14, I'll take them off. And I'm probably going to end up with around about 5, I think, because there's 5 sections in my page. Any more will always show to us as orphan pages. They won't show to the learner, but it does look a bit scruffy for us. Right, so I've ticked all off the ones I don't want. I go next. It's just a confirmation page showing the things I do want. And scroll down to the bottom, perform import. Do sometimes have to wait a little time. There it is. And we go continue. And there it is. There's our eSchema work added to the page. As you can see, we've got the yellow box in each of the topics. To edit these boxes, what we'd normally be doing is we would, where it says point 1, point 2, point 3, we're going to just be typing something in there that informs the learner a little bit about what's actually happening during that session. Try and put something in that's a bit catchy and we'll pull them into it. The section below which says schema works for the session, that's slightly different. I'm just going to go into edit that. So click on that, edit settings, and it will come up like this. What I suggest you do here, you can record in there the specialist skills and the core skills, the employability skills that relate to that session. A running order of just basically what you're going to be doing, and then your assessment for learning. And anywhere that you've included equality and diversity, and of course your English and maths if you've got it embedded. Obviously don't try and force these things in where they don't exist, but generally speaking you can get English and maths, and generally speaking you get a bit of equality and diversity. Okay, and when you've completed that, just go save and return to page. So that's importing our eSchema work. The next thing we're going to do is add a file. Files can be any kind of file, PDF, Word document, image file, whatever you fancy to add to your page. Now, to do that, we would always have turn editing on. Currently it says it is turned on here, but let's just go out and just make sure we understand what we've got to do. There's our eSchema work. We're now going to go turn editing on. We've turned it on and we just come to add a resource. Click on add a resource and we're just going to go find file there. There's our file. We're going to give it a name. We're going to call it test file. And we can just drag it straight to that section, or we can navigate to it. So, well, I won't drag it because there I can drag it from here. So from that page, I've got our learning outcomes for this session. So I'll click on that and just drag it down, drop it in there. What should be happening now is that should be uploaded. It can take a little time, but let's just sort of wait a little while. There it is, ready to go. We've given it a name. We've decided on the kind of file it is. There it is. We might just want to decide how it's going to be shown to the learner. I suggest you use a pop-up. I find pop-ups quite useful. You can change the size of the pop-up in here just by adding it and go say 800 by about 900 or something. Just make it worthwhile. Oops, let's try that again. 900. Okay, there we go. We're going to save and return to course. If we now turn editing off, it makes it a little bit clearer. And there's our file. If I click on that, it's opened it up for us. So that's a file. I'm going to turn editing back on again. And this time we're going to add a folder. Very similar process. It just means that we can hide a whole bunch of files within the folder. Makes everything look a bit neater. So this time we go add a resource. I'm going to go folder. I'm going to call it test folder. That's original. Okay, we can put things into the folder at this point, and it will demonstrate on a separate page if we wanted to, or inline on this page. I usually like it on a separate page. I'm going to save and return at this point. And there's our folder there. If I now go turn editing off, click on that folder, go edit, I can now drag any file into that folder. So I'm going to use the same one again. I'll just drag it into there. Just wait for it to upload. We can drag in multiple files, or we can zip a whole bunch of files in together, upload them, and then uncompress them. It's another good way of doing it. We're going to save changes. So there is our file within our folder. Now, if I go back to the page, there's our page. We've got our test file that we uploaded, and we've got our test folder that we uploaded with our file in it. So if we've got lots of files that we want to make available to our learners, then of course that method actually hides them away and makes it look quite neat. It's going to go back to the page. And the final thing we're going to do is add a label. Now, adding labels can be a really basic thing. Just tells learners about what it is that we might want them to do in some way. Alternatively, they enable us to add our own custom HTML to a page when it allows us to embed videos and all sorts of things. But let's just look at how we make a label to start with. So we're going to turn editing on. We're going to go add a resource. We're going to go label. And here's our label dialog box. If we click on that bit there, that toggles the box, makes it bigger or smaller. And I'm just going to type in here, this is a label. We can make it bigger or smaller. I'm going to give it some bandana. Make it a 5. And if we go over to here, I can give it a bit of colour, stick it there. And there it is. There's our simple label. It looks very simple, but there's an awful lot we can do with it. For instance, I've just highlighted that. If I click on this, we can add a link to it. We can link folders, files, web pages, a whole range of different things that we can actually link to it there. Cancel. So that's just adding a label. We'll look at that in a bit more detail later on, maybe how we can embed an image, or maybe embed a video. So save and return to course. So we're going to turn editing off. And here we have, so we've imported our e-scheme of work. We've added a file, we've added a folder, and we've added a label. Thank you very much. I hope you found that interesting. Thanks for watching.